Welcome to another Subie Shades video with me on a beautiful morning. Hashtag Team All Blade and hashtag No Blade Left Behind. Come on in, throw me a Subie smile, and all I gotta say is squad goals. Thank you so much for being here, for clicking into the video, and for joining me. Hopefully wherever you're watching from today, you're drinking something delicious and you're ready for a shave. I know I am. I'm super excited. Today we're gonna be talking about and revisiting none other than the winning razor. I'm sure many of you have seen, heard, or may have jumped over to the Yates Precision Manufacturing Instagram and seen that there's a version 2 being released here shortly of the winning razor. Today we want to talk about the first version, maybe some of the things that they're going to be doing with the second version, all speculative, right? I don't have one, but just based on what I've seen and what Jake has released to the public via Instagram and photos on Facebook, I want to kind of talk about it. I want to showcase and highlight what the version 1 is, how it shaves, and what we can kind of expect and maybe hope for with the version 2. I'm so excited for version 2. Who's here with me? Who's going to be stalking the page? I know on Black Friday that page is going to be lit up like a Christmas tree. I am super excited to see Jake releasing a version 2 of this razor, right? And today I just want to highlight and talk about the history of this one, talk about how this one shaves, and talk about why I get so excited and why I'm so looking forward to the second version, right? Just based on the performance alone. It's going to be fantastic. Thank y'all for being here. Today, the soap and splash of du jour, right? The choice today, I couldn't go wrong with Grove. Grove is one of those ones for fall time I just love. It smells a little like a forest to me, but more dark, right? It smells more realistic. It doesn't smell like forest.com candle. It smells really, really like realistic. It's darker. It's got this undertone that's from the moss, but then the cranberry lift to it is so unique and interesting. It smells fascinating, and it smells very, very for me it smells dark but green and clean, right? You do get the effervescentness and cleanness from the green notes, but they don't smell like, a welcoming bright forest. It does smell dark, and I get that kind of ominous vibe to this. Grove, what an interesting scent by Doug, available over on Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements website. I like this one a lot. It's one of those ones where if you want to smell kind of like you've been around like forest in the fall, right? But you don't want to have like the quintessential scent notes behind that. I think this plays really well. The cedar wood, everything about this, really, really nice and very, very unique for the forest kind of tone. Again, not your typical, pine, and you're walking through a sunshine forest here. Smells a little dark, smells a little, just a little earthy to me, and I really like this one. Awesome shave scent from Phoenix Artisan Accoutrement. Grove. It's going to be a fantastic shave today with it. We are lathered up today with our Yaqi professional brush. I love this brush. Can we just get a highlight and a shout out to Yaqi? Take a look at their new professional brush. I think the Bakelite on that, the Bakelite-esque, right? It's not technically Bakelite, but it looks like Bakelite. It's all marbled and beautiful. I like the black cap on the topper, right? That collar ring that's black and shiny. Just that really piano black look to it. I think it really makes it pop. And when I did the lather today, man, that stiff brush, right? The Badger brush knot just absolutely crushed the lather. You can see it is super hydrated. It does look exactly like pudding, right? It's got this beautiful shine and shimmer to it. No bubbles whatsoever. It is reflective. It is shiny, and it is ready for a shave as much as I am. It smells so good. The scent on it just punches. I mean, you can smell it from this far away. I'm not sure if you guys can smell it, but you may be able to. It smells that strong and that good. We're gonna toss on a little bit of extra just to show you guys how well it paints. Look at this stuff, right? I love this stuff. This is what gets me excited about shaving. And I honestly, I forgot to call it out, and I always forget to call it out, but you cannot wet shave without a good brush, right? You have to have a brush. It's just part of the experience, and to be able to really lather up a beautiful soap, you're gonna need a brush. And I love this new set from the professional set from Yaqi. Really love this. I think it's awesome. And I think it punches way above its price tag. All All right, let's get into some shaving and let's talk about the winning razor. I am so excited, like I said, to see that Yates Precision Manufacturing, right, is going to be releasing and working on producing a second version. It's kind of sad. The whole entire history behind the razor is that they released this razor, right, underneath the Wet Shaving Club store, right? It was actually a different brand in that they were outsourcing to Yates and having Jake make the razor for them. It was considered to be a beginner-friendly razor. It has very little blade gap, very little blade and skin fill, and it really shaves at an angle that's specifically designed to set that angle for you, right? It's a set it to the skin surface and shave. And as you can see today on the face, it was extremely comfortable, very close. I'm sitting on 48 hours of stubble. I mean, it's not like nothing, right? And it takes it down without a problem. It's 119 chunky grams, right? It's hefty, but it shaves very, very smoothly and very mildly for the amount of weight that the razor has. Now, I want to come in and straight up be 100% honest. When people first got the razor, right, they mentioned this to them. This was too slippery. They wanted to see something more tactile. People mentioned these little holes right here for lather flow just weren't big enough, and they would get some buildup. People also mentioned that they felt like these tolerances with the pegs were too loose, allowing for the blade to adjust and kind of wobble almost inside the head cap. These are problems I never really experienced. I shave with not enough stubble to really clog the razor to, you know, fill up those little holes. I've never really had a problem with any blade wobble, and so for me, the razor was it was really, really good, especially at the price point, right? Originally, the razor was like, I think it was sold for $50. At $50, you got a full stainless steel, beautifully manufactured razor by Yates, right? That's a steal, in my opinion. No pun intended. It really was a good deal. And then kind of going from there, as they discontinued the razor, right? The company decided, okay, we're going to go away from this razor. They discontinued it. They stopped making it. At the closeout clearance sale price was $30. People were snagging these for $30. Now, the actual shave to it, let me show you. There is some suction to it. It actually has a little bit of suction to the razor. It almost feels like the razor pulls into the surface and allows the blade to connect to the surface a little bit closer. I have loved that feeling. I think, you see how it just takes off that lather? It has the suction feel, and I have loved that feel on the skin for years, right? And I've owned the razor, I think it's been like a year and a half almost now. 2 years? I don't know for surety or for certainty. Don't quote me on this. I'll have to look it up. I'll have it down over here. I've had the razor for a long time, and I've always loved that feeling it gives me across the skin. It lets me know I'm shaving, and it like almost like pulls the skin into the blade, or the stubble into the blade without pulling the skin into the blade, right? It is really nice, and I've always talked about it, especially with people that were looking for a razor in stainless steel. When Henson was really popular, right? There was a moment when Henson was just flying off the shelves, but people wanted to see a stainless steel variant, and I was like, there you go. This is close. Some of the things actually you'll notice about this razor versus the Henson, this predates when Henson did it, but you can see they beveled the corners here. They actually were like, hold on, we're gonna make the razor comfortable, right? That's the thing about the Henson, the first version, it always bothered me. This was sharp, and the Yates Precision Manufacturing, the YPM winning razor, was not. And I love that on the skin. They added some cutouts here, which made the razor really easy to disassemble right on the cap, whereas Henson did not, right? It was just a flat cap. You were grabbing it. Honestly, I always felt those two things really set the razor apart from the competitors' products, right? For me, the shave is probably on par with the Yaqi medium as far as the amount of efficiency and the amount of aggressiveness. The aggressiveness from the actual Henson, for me, was more blade forward, and it was actually more nick prone, right? This is a razor that does not nick me ever. I don't think I've ever had a nick from this razor. To be perfectly honest, oh man, it is so good. Look at this thing. It is so freaking good. And the new one, right? The new one, they are making some adjustments. Yates has actually said they are going to be making some updates and adjustments to a new variation of this razor to kind of perfect it, improve it, and make it a better shaver and maybe more accommodating for people that had issues with some of the blade wobbling. The first thing I guess that they are doing is going to be increasing the size of the pins. I'm going to call that out right now. The one thing Yates said that they are doing, and I saw this on Instagram, is that they're going to be increasing the size of these pins and decreasing the size of the holes. So they're going to decrease the amount of movement inside the head cap, allowing for the blade to have nowhere to go, right? It's really going to create some tension inside that head cap now. I know that's one thing that they mentioned they are really focused on. The next thing is that the handle, right? The handle here is a step up above, just basic, it's about as basic as you can get. Just a flat, cylindrical handle here. And I know that they're going to be doing something much more beautiful based on their pictures, right? I don't know if they're going to include the magnet. I didn't see in Jake's post if the magnet was in there, but it looks like he's going to be cutting a hole there. I don't know if it's for a stand. It may be for a magnet. And I always thought the magnet was kind of fun. The magnet makes it so you can pick a blade up off of the countertop without actually touching the blade. Kind of a cool concept, right? Something you saw with the Red Ring Eclipse that I thought Jake was kind of fun in bringing it back. So we'll see if the new one has that. They're going to be making 30 V2s, right? It has a different cap on it. So when this razor really released and was being used, people mentioned they didn't love the way that the cap sits against the skin, that it didn't have a good smoothness for them. For me, like I said, that suction almost aids to the shave, but some people really didn't like it, right? For them, that bothered them. So he is actually manufacturing and engineering the cap so that it has more curve. So you'll see in the video here, it actually has some curvature to it. And then underneath the base cap here, it has some curvature. They're reducing material in the base plate by making it curve. And they're also making this top cap curve this way. So you're gonna get reduced suction, right? Because it's not gonna have as much contact with the skin, but it's also gonna have reduced weight. So I know that they are trying to get the razor down below what it was originally, 119-ish grams, right? They're gonna try to get below that number while also making the razor shave a little smoother and a little less drag feel, right? I know that's their goals. I'm excited. I know I'm one of the people that reached out and said, how do I get one? When do I need to apply? Because it's only with only 30 of them, you got to understand there's more people that said they would buy one on their Facebook post than are even available to start, right? I think if they did this as a pre-order, they would have already sold out just because they are so popular with people that like mild razors. Now, if you're coming into this and you're just watching now, right, you've skipped through and you're like, okay, how does it perform next to the YPM, the 921, the E, the H, right? How about just the regular medium? When you compare it to all their other razors, this is probably their most mild one, right? So if you bought the America razor recently in titanium and you're shaving with it, you're like, oh, this is too mild. This razor is probably not going to be for you, to be perfectly honest, at least based on the performance of this one. Now, I do not know. They are going to be adding these scallops to the cap. So there's going to be lines that go through the cap, right? Again, all over here. The lines going through the cap are going to be manufacturally created on purpose, right? They're added to create more performance, essentially. So I do not know how those little grooves, essentially lather grooves, are going to affect the shave. I'm excited to see the performance of the V2, right? And I am very, very, very hopeful in anticipation that I'll be able to get one and be able to do some reviewing and some demonstrating here. I'd love to be able to do compares side by side with the V1 and also against the Henson, right? How would it even compare against the new fascia of the new Henson, the V2 Henson, right? Because they kind of took this design, Henson did, and took some notes from it, right? And I'd be really curious to see if it goes the other way around. Oh, what a shave. What a close, beautiful, comfortable, absolutely zero nicks, zero skill. It takes no effort. I could do this all day long, talking with my eyes closed with a bandana around my head, and I would still be a BBS shave. Absolutely flawless, glorious, and like I've said many, many times before, oh, yes! That is smooth. That is that is a treat. That's as good as finding a pot of gold underneath a rainbow. I am telling you, that is a bowl full of the good stuff. Marshmallow is the only kind of shave. I love the winning razor. I've loved it for since the entirety of owning the razor, right? Grab a little bit of alum here. We have the time. Oh, I love that squeaky feel, right? With alum, when you start getting a squeak on your head, it is close. Oh, I love that. Awesome shave. Again, gets me really excited about the V2 coming out. Fingers crossed. Oh, it's going to be awesome. I'm really excited. Massive shout out to Jake for continually perfecting that design, for challenging, how he created the razor and really himself and making it shave better, shave closer, and maybe shave even more consistently with better blade tension. Oh, it should be awesome. Grab a little bit of this Grove Splash and we're going to do it right now. We're going to sum it up. Oh boy. Close, comfortable, and absolutely excellent. Again, this is a razor that for me shaves as good, if not better, than the other modern, to the surface kind of creates the angle for you. Ease of shaving, the beginner-friendly razors. I love this one. No longer made, and it's hard to source because the people that own them love them and usually own more than one. Absolutely fantastic razor. Thank you again for joining me for it. Again, if you haven't, please go below, smash that sub button. Let me know in the comments you enjoyed the video and what you'd like to see from the V2. Are you as excited as I am? Probably not, but I would love to know why you're excited and if you're going to be chasing after the V2. And until I see you guys again, I'm going to get and enjoy a perfect shave. Subes out!